Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Data here with breaking news in the NHL as the long-awaited Kevin Hayes trade has officially gone down. It was supposed to be a larger package, Torrey Krug and Travis Sanheim and all the pieces, but it kind of fell apart, and now it has just come down to Kevin Hayes being traded from the Philadelphia Flyers at 50% salary retention to the St. Louis Blues in exchange for a 2024 sixth-round pick. Purely a cap dump, as we've been seeing in recent days with other teams, and as we'll likely be seeing into the future with more teams. So we'll go ahead and start breaking down the numbers right away. Let's jump right into it. Not too much to say on this deal. It's more what the implications of the deal than the deal itself, honestly, as the Philadelphia Flyers are now going to get the $7.142857 million of Kevin Hayes off their books. They will now have a cap hit of, as Frank Saravalli reports, 3.571428 for the next 3 years. So they save about 3.5. Well, they do save 3.571 million, but they're still on the hook for a bit more for 3 more years. They have the ability to do so. They're not really in a tight spot financially. They're going to have an extra 3.5 million, so that gets them to over 10 million now in cap space. Throw in a 6th-round pick in 2024 just to have some freedom. Now, the Flyers are full on going to be bottom 3 next season. Absolutely. Hayes is gone. Ryan Ellis on long-term injured reserve. Sean Couturier, who knows if he's coming back. They're trying to move Travis Sanheim before his no trade clause kicks in. They've been talking about Travis Konechny. They've been talking about Scott Lawton. There's a lot of interest around the Philadelphia Flyers as they are just pretty much tearing it down. Throw on the LTI candidates. Throw on Kevin Hayes. That gives us over 16.5 million now to play with. So Philadelphia, they get to clear up a lot of money. That's good. They signed a really bad contract, unfortunately, and now they got to deal with it. The Blues, meanwhile, they're going to have about $4 million left in salary cap space as they'll bring Kevin Hayes on board. Their new top 6 could be Kyrou, Thomas, Schenn, Buchnevich, Saad, and then throw in Kevin Hayes. Or then your third line is Kapanen, Vrana, Blais type of thing. There's your top 9 at the very least. I like that top 9 very, very much for the Blues. Blais, Vrana, Kapanen, Saad, Buchnevich, Schenn, Thomas, Kyrou, Hayes. I like that top 6 because even though Kevin Hayes has struggled and not been worth the 7 point whatever million he was signed for, he has been okay. 41 points, 31 points, so 31 again, 54 in almost a full season this past year. He has not been a horrible piece in Philadelphia. He's just been an overpaid piece on a very bad team. So let's pull up the numbers here on Hayes. Actually, no, I'm looking at the defense. My apologies. Let's check it out. Blues and Flyers complete the Hayes deal with the sixth, excuse me. There you go. Flyers continue to be engaged in Sanheim and Lawton talks, according to Dave Pagnotta at the 4th period. Yes. Thank you, Dabrowski-Ego. So let's pull up the card on Kevin Hayes. Not the most recent information, but this gives us a good picture of what he's been doing. His even strength offense has been solid enough. His primary assists per 60 have been there as well. Not as strong as you'd want defensively, but again, take into consideration the team that he is on. Yeah, Kevin Hayes traded to the St. Louis Blues at 50% salary retained in exchange for a 2024 6th-round pick, excuse me, just a pure salary dump. His finishing, okay. His level of competition he's playing against, okay. The teammates that he has playing with him, okay. It's mostly the hallmark of Hayes' game in recent years seems to be his even strength offense and his ability to get primary assists. So his overall value over the last 3 years, according to weighted average data, puts him in that 54th percentile of the league projected. But the defense has been dropping in recent years. His finishing has been up and down. His value has been in that, 25 to 60%-ish range. So I like this deal for the St. Louis Blues a lot because, they were thinking about at one point, are we bringing back Barbashev? Are we bringing back O'Reilly? But it's sounding more and more like those are going to be players that are going to be commanding more money, more than the money that they have available. So instead of throwing a full 7.5 million on O'Reilly or 5 plus, 6 plus, 6.5 on Barbashev, they can give 3.5 to Hayes for basically nothing, and they still have 3.5 to or so, and they still have 4 million to do the rest. And there's not much else to do. They're going to have 11 forwards. They have 7 defense. They could just need a backup goalie now. I think that the Blues are in a very good spot, and the Flyers, unfortunately, are having to eat that deal that they signed a long time ago. Yeah, Nick Foligno signing for the Blackhawks today, 1 year, $4 million. I like Ramsey saying, I liked Hayes here in Philly. The cap hit was too rich, but watching him play, he does a pretty incredible job of protecting the puck. He can get into the beast mode sometimes. So yes, he has been good, but as I said, just overpaid on a bad team, which makes people turn sour. But he has been good enough for what he has had to deal with. So Kevin Hayes on his way to St. Louis, maybe the first domino to fall for some moves that will be going on for the Philadelphia Flyers. The Blues get a good piece. That's what I'm talking about, the implications of this trade. Now that the Blues add $3.5 million in Kevin Hayes, it makes me think they were definitely going to go after Barbashev and maybe O'Reilly. But now it doesn't sound like it's so much. You no longer, you have $4 million. You can't get O'Reilly or 6.5 on Barbashev unless you're still thinking about trying to move out one of your top 4D that are making between 4 and 6.5 million. Maybe even Scandella making 3.275. So maybe the Blues themselves want to make a cap dump as well, and they still want to make a run for one of Barbashev or Ryan O'Reilly, etc. Looking at Twitter here, Flyers continues to be engaged in talks on Lawton, Sanheim, and others. The Leafs and Jets are among those who are interested in Travis Sanheim right now. Sanheim, another tough contract in Philadelphia. So that's about it for this trade. As I said, the implications are a bit deeper than that because now St. Louis either has to make another deal or they can just to free up money, or they can just take the money that they have into free agency. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, they're still above the cap floor. They're okay, but they're really moving into tank mode. And Kevin Hayes may have just been the first domino to fall. Hayes is number one, and other players on the way as we get to around the draft. So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. As we get into the offseason, the draft is tomorrow. It's going to be there's going to be a lot more moves coming your way. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't our last live stream of the day. It definitely isn't. We'll be live this evening with our live stream of award nominees. Carter Hart, yes, perhaps. What we did on NHL 23, we took all the award nominees, the Hart nominees, the Norris nominees, the Selke nominees, the Norris nominees. We put them on different teams. We simulated a whole season on NHL 23. And now, according to how they finished, we're now going to run a tournament to see which award means the most in the NHL. Last season, the Hart Trophy nominees beat the King Clancy Trophy nominees. So we'll be doing that live tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe if you haven't already to be made aware of that upload, as well as all of our other breaking news analysis here on the channel. Lunchbox, our resident Blues fan, I can confirm through my Blues inside information that Krug has decided to waive his no-trade clause to play for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals send Goldschmidt to the Blues in return. Thank you, Lunchbox. That's the cutting-edge information that we want out here. So I'm sure more trade drama will be coming. I am sure, Leafs fan. Thank you, everyone, for joining me this afternoon. I'm sure we'll be live again soon. Join the Discord server, link in the description for more ongoing breaking news and discussion. And we'll be talking soon. Thank you for joining me. Flyers, good move to free up some money. Blues, they got a good piece for pretty much nothing. Now the question will be, do they want to get more, or are they going to free up money to go after Barbashev, O'Reilly? Lots still to be figured out in the offseason. So thank you once again, and we'll be talking soon.